and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at a near 3-year low. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Tired of changing out bad sod year after year? Get it done right with Roundtree Sod. Big or small, they have it, and always supplied farm fresh. For a lush, legendary green lawn, call 7414-SOD for a free estimate. 7414-SOD.
Looking for an exciting, fun-filled evening the whole group can enjoy? Discover the thrill of indoor football. It's fast-paced, action-packed, and full of family fun. Get out of the heat and into the arena and enjoy Hawaiian night with the Sharks as they battle the Iowa Barnstormers. Saturday, July 18th. Kickoff at 7 and tickets start at just $15. Grab your flip-flops and favorite Hawaiian shirt and check out the amazing fire dancers at halftime. Bringing the whole crew? Try family packs. Get 4 tickets and $50 in food or merchandise vouchers, all for only $100. Go on the field after the game for the free autograph session sponsored by Flight Adventure Park. Get tickets or find out more at jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. 904-621-0700. Sharks football, where memories are made. Go Sharks!
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. This update brought to you by Southern Oak Insurance. Trevor Lawrence spent the 2025 season rebuilding the way the NFL viewed him, and his peers noticed as they placed the Jacksonville Jaguars quarterback at number 62 on its top 100 players list. It's the highest position of Lawrence's career. Right now, 92 degrees at 4 o'clock. Time and 10 brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Hayes, Ryan, and JJ. Time for the lead on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Welcome in. Thank you so much for being with us here on The Lead. I'm Hayes Carline. Pleased to be joined with Ryan O'Halloran, columnist of the Florida Times-Union. We've got Jared Justice today producing with JJ out. Jared, good to see you. How you doing?
I'm good.
Good. All right.
Gonna do my best.
All right. You're doing great. Looking forward to working with you. We've got lots to get to on The Lead today. Mark Long's going to join us in our next segment. That'll be a lot of fun. Mark will update on us on his condition. Obviously, we had a lot of fun with Mark last week when he joined us, but still recovering from a car accident. We went to Gainesville today to have lunch with him. Great seeing Mark.
It was. I just saw you.
Exactly.
Yeah, we made the drive down this morning to Gainesville, met him for a great lunch. I mean, Hayes ordered this calzone that is the size of a football.
Yeah.
And we all brought to-go boxes, but Mark was in great spirits.
My to-go box is like 5 pounds.
It's like a brick.
And I ate like a third of the calzone.
Yeah. So Mark was
These calzones, Jerry.
We can't cook your shirt.
Steinbrenner. Anyway.
We didn't pay in pocket change.
We did not.
But Mark was in great spirits. It was great catching up with him. He was able to get out of the house and talked a lot of Gators, Jaguars. And folks, there is nothing quite like riding shotgun with Hayes Carline.
Oh, it was brutal.
The drivers today were just pathetic.
It was brutal today. I mean, I felt bad because, we don't, obviously, you're not a passenger in my car all
I
that
normally don't
often,
swear
and,
like this.
I mean, it was a frustrating day. But, now we get to talk sports for a couple hours, and that'll be a lot of fun. So Mark will join us in our next segment. We're going to do something fun. We've talked a lot about the Jaguar receiver and sort of the good problem that they have with 3 really good options: Jakobi Meyers, Parker Washington, Brian Thomas Jr., and they're sort of interchangeable. You'll see some people, are higher on Washington this year. Some people are higher on BTJ, who obviously had a great offseason from what we saw when we were able to watch the OTAs and the mandatory minicamp. Obviously, Jakobi Meyers has a lot of fans, you and I among them. So we've talked a lot about that. We haven't talked a lot about Florida's receivers. And I think it's because the Jaguars, great team, and obviously we talk more about the Jaguars than anything else at this station for good reason. But in terms of the Gators, coming off a really tough year, obviously, but they do have 3 really promising receivers this year. And however order you want to put them in: Dallas Wilson, Vernell Brown III, and Eric Singleton. So what I thought it would be fun, we're going to have Mark rank his top 6 receivers. Combine the Gators, combine the Jaguars, and who do you think is going to have the best season overall? It doesn't necessarily have to be statistical, but just, and so Mark's going to give us his list. Ryan and I will weigh in as well, so we'll do that in our next segment. That'll be a lot of fun. We'll take your calls and texts as well. It's 641-1010. Just tell us, is there a receiver you're most looking forward to watching this year? It doesn't have to be a Jaguar or Gator receiver, but one in particular that you're excited about watching. We want to hear from you. We'll talk about the British Open some. Kai Stevens is going to join us from Jaguars.com. We'll do that at 4:45. We'll talk about the open practices. Again, you can register to go out there and watch the Jaguars practice.
These practices are in Jacksonville, correct?
They are in Jacksonville, good. Like the home games this year.
Games.
Yeah,
that's right.
They do not go to Orlando until 2027. There's also a new episode of The Hunt out, so we'll certainly get Kai's thoughts on that. And then at 5:15, I'm going to throw something at you guys. In terms of wildest reclamation project, if I gave you these 3 names, Deshaun Watson, Mike Norvell, and Jordan Spieth, which of the 3 would you, if you have to pick it, biggest comeback potential? I'm interested in your thoughts. We'll also talk about the greatest comebacks. Obviously, Sam Darnold, what he did last year, unbelievable comeback, resurrecting his career. Everybody thought he was a bust. He goes to Seattle and wins the Super Bowl, and was, he wasn't maybe the best player on that team, but certainly wasn't a Trent Dilfer deal. I mean, he was a big time player in helping Seattle win that Super Bowl. What about Tua? What about Dabo? What about Belichick? We'll talk about, greatest comebacks in sports history. George Foreman, springs to mind. So that'll be a lot of fun. So lots to get to on the lead. But Ryan, I want to start on the Jaguars. You wrote a great column earlier this week. You can read it on Jacksonville.com. It kind of examining the nuances and getting to deeper levels of what Liam Cohen has talked multiple times about, the 3 better, 3 best, how he handles communication with players and getting players to realize what they need to improve upon. Take us through what it was like kind of going through that and what you learned about Liam Cohen's philosophy.
Yeah, this was a fun one to write about, and it's still online right now. And, last year you heard it mentioned 3 better, 3 best. Well, it's exactly what you would think it is. Well, okay, I wanted to talk to a couple players, talk to a lot of assistant coaches. Okay, tell me about the process that goes into this. And, it comes from the Sean McVay tree where Liam was with the Rams during 2 stints. And basically it's before the offseason program began, full staff meeting where each position coach goes over about their individual player. Hey, here are the 3 things he did best last year and can build on that. Here are the 3 things he must improve on. Cohen said that he and the coordinators add to that, provide their insight, and then when the players are back, 15-minute meetings, one-on-one, supported by video. They go over the list, 3 and 3, and basically it's a lesson plan for the offseason program. And Cohen said he estimated he probably would pop into 20 or 30 of the meetings, including quarterbacks and a lot of offensive guys. And he goes, I may pop into a meeting just to kick a guy in the pants. Say, hey, you gotta get going. Well, we can probably guess on a couple of those guys.
Yeah.
One wears number 7.
Right.
So yeah, and what the coaches said is such a great tool because Tony Baselli is a Hall of Fame player. He says, I would have loved this when I was a player because players want to be coached. They want to be pushed. They want to be critiqued. And they want to be able, if you can help me get better, I'm going to buy into what you're selling.
Yeah, and they don't want a gray area.
Yeah.
They want everything to be black and white.
Yeah. And one of the coaches said, hey, sometimes the critique is painful, but it's beneficial. And these are all adults, and they think it really helped last year, so they did it again this year.
I thought it was cool what Parker Washington told you about his.
Yeah, and one thing that he said was on the get better list for him was explosion out of the snap. Okay, out of his stance. He goes, he wants to be violent against the corner, dictate the terms of the route. And I thought that was interesting because he also said throughout late last year, he kind of got worn down a little bit because he was playing a lot more snaps than expected. So I think getting back to his training, changing the way he trains, knowing he's going to play 85, 90% of the snaps. And so that was one. And Patrick McCarry, the right guard, basically summed up penalties. Okay, what'd you do wrong on this holding call? was it a technique? Did you just get beat? How do you get better with the hands, the feet, etc.? So it runs the gamut with each position group.
Are penalties something that you think they'll be better at this year?
Well, I think they trended that way toward the end of last year. Still top 2 or 3 in the league. I think they were behind Denver. And it's one of the reasons why the Jaguars offense led the league in most yards to go on third down. They were terrible on third down because they got behind the chains. So I think there aren't any excuses in the second year of the system to not understand the snap count. You know all the checks, all the adjustments, and that's what had to really disappoint Cohen. And he said it a couple of times: is early in the years, it's the unforced errors. I mean, you're going to have physical penalties in this league, but you don't need to have a false start or legal formation, which really kills the coaches. That's just lining up right. So I think that's going to be one of the focuses in camp, is making sure all those T's are crossed.
Yeah, without a doubt. I would encourage you to go read that. It was on Jacksonville.com right now. Also, Ryan tweets it out at Ryan O'Halloran. But be sure to watch that. We got lots of Jaguar stuff coming on. We got to talk about the hunt. What did you think about the hunt?
I thought it was interesting, and it was came out. I believe it came out last night because I watched it last night. It was the Iron Jaguars competition, the strength and conditioning part. Eric Ciano runs that. Who was with the Bills, came here. All he did is his staff was one of the best staff in the league.
How did they let him go?
It was like Sean McDermott.
Were you, because you were covering the Bills then, were you shocked that he was scapegoated?
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to break that story. And I remember saying, okay, what's the deal here? Different voice, maybe. I think that was more GM driven. That's personally. But I remember texting Baselli when I heard he was down here, and basically I said, this guy's falling into your lap. And Tony told me later, he goes, we did not want him to leave the building. So, and they got him signed up because he had other options. I think he was going to Minnesota to talk to them, never made it there. So, and you saw last year how guys got better. And, this Iron Jaguars thing, trash talking 101 pretty much is in this show, which was entertaining. And I think Kai was doing some of the interviews, so we'll ask her about that. But the team that won it was captained by Dennis Gardeck and Patrick McCarry. And the reward is, for that team, you do not have to stay at the hotel during training camp.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a reward.
Yeah, that's like 3 weeks.
Yeah. I could see it maybe for like a weekend. They don't have to stay in the hotel at all during training camp? Wow.
So I may clarify that with the head coach in a couple of weeks. But,
right.
And the captains get front row parking spots.
Nice. How about that? Well, good stuff. When we come back on the lead, let's stay on the Jaguars. We'll also mix in a little Gators. Mark Long, who covers the Jaguars and Gators for the Associated Press, will join us. That is next. You're listening to The Lead on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
This is The Lead from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Richard Miller with your Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles Update. It's a very busy weekend inside Showtime. Saturday, it's a monthly card show with nearly 20 vendor tables of sports cards, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Then Sunday, our non-sports card show from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. At Showtime, sports cards and collectibles. Update your collection.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Picking here, or maybe you should call me Dreamfinders Danny. Look what Dreamfinders is doing again, an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now's your chance to lock down the rate and get in the game. You heard me right, a 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to dreamfindershomes.com for more details.
Every day is game day on Jaguars Today. Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony break it down from every angle. Roster moves, matchups, league trends, and the pulse of Duval. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson, custom windows and doors. 10 to noon weekdays on 1010XL.
Hello, Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Looking for a full contact sport that just hits different? You're looking for Rugby League. The Jacksonville Axemen play the Sarasota Bull Sharks tomorrow at JU's The Rock Stadium at 7. Get there early so you don't miss the 80 minutes of nonstop action. That's tomorrow at 7. The Axemen are powered by Permit Rockstar, who simplify construction permits fast. Tomorrow night, Axemen Rugby League, 7 p.m., The Rock Stadium. It's going to get intense.
Celebrate America's birthday all this month with a dozen roses from Kuhn Flowers, only $49.95. Buy any color or color combination. A dozen roses, just $49.95 at Kuhn Flowers this month. KuhnFlowers.com.
Need or want cash? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn has cash available. Ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. They need it all, selling or pawning. Get cash on the spot at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Bueller, stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal, what's the matter? I came right over.
It's my water, Jason. Smell this.
Yeesh.
That came out of my tab, Jason. I'm worried there's a lot more in there than just H and 2 and O.
Well, yeah. In Jacksonville, we have some of the hardest water in Florida. There's calcium carbonate in there and magnesium sulfate and...
I'm sorry, calcium... what now?
It's the same stuff that makes those cool stalactites in caves.
Well, it's making my shower all powdery, my tabs all crusty, and caves make me claustrophobic.
Put on these sunglasses. Whoa. Call Bueller Air and Plumbing. And our water treatment experts will do a free water quality test. We'll check for minerals, bacteria, anything that might make your water smelly or damage your plumbing or appliances.
And if it's bad, you can fix it?
Your glasses will come out cleaner, your shampoo will lather better.
I like a good lather, Jason.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
He covers the Jags. He covers the Gators. It's Fourth and Long with Mark Long of the Associated Press, now on The Lead on 1010XL.
Welcome back to The Lead. It's our privilege to welcome in Mark Long, who we had the good fortune to have lunch with today in Gainesville. Mark, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you guys? Safe travels back, I assume?
Yeah, well, other than some really slow drivers, we were able to make it back.
Have you had
to doing on the highway?
Oh, it was
maddening.
Terrible.
But we made it. It was worth it to see you. How's the recovery? Let's start there. Like, tell you, obviously last week you explained on, when you joined us on The Lead that you obviously had a very serious car accident, broken hip, broken femur, broken ankle on the other leg, broken ribs. You look great today, but give our listeners an update on how you're doing.
Yeah, getting better every day.
Good.
The ribs are I think as close to 100% as I could imagine at this point, and that's been a game changer. It just changes your ability to move and get around, and ability to laugh, talk. All those things, and so that's been huge. I saw the doctor for the first time since leaving the hospital yesterday. Had a checkup. Everything looks good. We're probably another 10 days in a walking boot, and then we'll be good on the right side. And then maybe another 3 or 4 weeks, maybe another month on the left side of no weight. And then we early next month we get into PT, some physical therapy, and that'll be good. And I think probably, I hope a month from now, I'll be back resuming normal, day-to-day activities in terms of walking and getting around and doing all the things that I need to do.
Well, that means your prediction of last week will be true. You won't, but
you will make it back before some colleagues will.
Some colleagues will.
Mark,
I mean, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah. I thought it would be fun. We talked about this at lunch. So we've discussed the Jaguar receiver position a lot this offseason because it's a good situation. They have Jacoby Myers, Parker Washington, Brian Thomas Jr. and there's different, you talk to a different person, they may have one ranked ahead of the other in terms of who they're excited about. And when you look at the Gators, they kind of have the same thing. Obviously, the Jaguars won 13 games last year. They're in a much better place than the Gators from an overall win standpoint. We'll see what John Summerall can do in year one. But the Gators do have 3 and maybe more really talented receivers in Dallas Wilson, Vernell Brown III, and transfer Eric Singleton, who I saw Dane Brugler had as like the 4th best senior receiver in the upcoming draft. Now, again, that doesn't include Jeremiah Smith and underclassmen, but that's still very high praise. So what I thought it'd be fun today, since you obviously have the ear of both programs, how would you rank them if you had to go 1 through 6 on, like expectation, like how you think this season will play out? It doesn't have to be like who's going to lead in catches, and it doesn't have to necessarily be statistical. But when we get to February and we reflect on this, if you had to go 1 through 6, who do you think will have the best season? Let's start with that. Who would you put 1?
You're going to start with the Jags or the Gators?
Well, I'm saying combine them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All top 6 of the 2 teams.
Correct.
Yeah. Well, listen, everything starts with BTJ. Brian Thomas Jr., obviously a down year last year, despite what, any of his biggest supporters say. 48 catches, 707 yards, 2 touchdowns after making the Pro Bowl as a rookie. It's a down year. We all know he had trouble catching the ball, especially over the middle, shied away from contact, all of that. But he's 6'4", 205, runs a 4.3, and he's 24 years old. I mean, that guy has all the talent in the world. I expect the Jags to put him in position to be better than he was last year and to get the most out of him. Now, does he still need to go over the middle and catch the ball? Absolutely. And I think that's the number one thing that we need to see from this guy is get him over the middle, catch the ball, get his confidence up even to another step. But I think coming out of the spring, no one on that field looked as good as Brian Thomas Jr. from a day-to-day carryover, week-to-week basis. So he's number 1.
Real
and
quick.
I don't think there's a close second.
Really?
Really? Okay. Well, now this exercise just got a lot better because
we may keep you for like the whole show now.
Me and Hayes will have our list better. Brian Thomas for me is not number 1, and he's not number 2, 3, 4, or 5.
You're overlooking the obvious talent and the size difference between him and everybody else on the list. Everybody else is Dallas Wilson is 6'3", 220. Other than those 2 guys, everybody else is a midget compared to Brian Thomas. It's Mike DeRocco in the room with a bunch of reporters. I mean, that's Brian Thomas. He's head and shoulders above everybody else.
D-Rock just catches strays left and right on this show. It's unbelievable. Poor D-Rock. We love D-Rock. I gotta side with Ryan here because I'm surprised that you would say you would have Brian Thomas Jr. I understand. This is why it's a fun topic because I do get it. I mean, incredible rookie year. If you can look past the down year last year, and he did look fantastic in OTAs. But of course, what hurt him last year was stuff that occurred when pads were on, like contact and stuff like that. Sure. But look, I mean, that's the thing. It's everybody's opinion. So I'm surprised that you think of that group of 6. So I mean, even localizing it to the Jaguars, you obviously think he's going to have the best year. And again, not necessarily statistically, but you think he'll be the most impactful receiver over Myers and Washington here in Jacksonville.
I think he has to be. And let's not put past, we've done this long enough that we all know contract years there's a difference. And I know, listen, he's a first round pick. They got him for 5, locked in for 5 years. I get all that, but let's be honest. This is also a contract year for him because he could play well enough to maximize his value and get a contract extension in the offseason. So you gotta, if you're him and his camp, you're looking at this as a pivotal year in whether the Jags pick up his 5th year and whether the Jags even go to the table with him in the offseason and start talking contract extension. So that matters. That matters in the league. It matters in college when guys are trying to make it to the NFL. It always matters when they can see that next step and they see the dollar signs on the horizon.
Who's next at number 2 and 3?
Well, number 2, I'm going to go Parker Washington. That might be a little high, but I think another guy, contract years, due to make $3.7 million. I'm not sure he gets a contract. Maybe certainly he would. But if I'm him, I'm looking at Jacoby Myers, 3 years, $60 million, 40 of that guaranteed. And Jacoby Myers is 30 years old. Parker Washington's 24, and he does a lot more because of his special teams value. He's 6 years younger. Does a lot more, had a better season, 58 catches, 847 yards, 5 touchdowns. The Jags had 4 games, including the playoffs, with receivers over 100 yards. Parker Washington had 3 of those, 3 of his last 4 games. So clearly he was an ascending player at the end of the year. I believe Travis Hunter had the other one, most of that in mop-up duty against the Rams over in London. But I put Parker Washington number 2. Number 3, I'm going to jump to the Gators now because I think the Gators then are 3, 4, and 5. With Dallas Wilson, Eric Singleton, and Vernell Brown. Dallas Wilson, again, we haven't seen a lot of this guy, but everything you've seen jumps off the page. I mean, the guy, 6'3", 218, 219, 3 touchdowns last year, was uncoverable against Texas. Just a dominant player when he's on the field, difference maker. Eric Singleton's second. I think his experience at Auburn, Georgia Tech, his experience in the offense, his speed. Vernell Brown, a guy who does everything right, just a completely polished, NFL-ready route runner with great hands, 5'11", 170. That's the big concern on him is does he need to put on the weight? Can he put on the weight, keep the weight to be able to play at the next level? And that goes right back to me, number 6, which is Travis Hunter. And I put Hunter over Myers, even though I think Myers will have a bigger impact. Travis Hunter, you can't deny, you can't watch him play his 324 snaps of offensive football last year and not see that the kid has talent. The guy has a different wiggliness, I guess you want to say, a different step. He's just got a lot of talent. And I still think he can be a Pro Bowler on the defensive side of the ball, but the Jags aren't moving off of him playing offense. He will be impactful on offense because he wants to play offense, and the Jags are pot committed to him playing offense. If anything, just to prove everybody else wrong, he says he's going to be more of a one-way player. And then I got Jacoby Myers as number 6, and maybe that's age bias because, again, you look at this list and you got 5 guys, 5 of the 6 are under the age of 24, and then Jacoby Myers is on the wrong side of 30, and he's basically essentially in a 2-year deal, didn't have 100 yards catching. I think he's a very dependable option, a guy they're going to look for on third down, a guy who's going to catch the ball over the middle, but I don't know whether he's going to be even close to being like, an 800 or 900 yard receiver with 10 touchdowns. I don't think that's him, but I think he's going to be a security blanket for Trevor Lawrence.
You're full of surprises today.
I didn't know Travis Hunter was part of this exercise.
I mean, it can't be. You even mentioned at lunch you were talking about the Mays kid at Florida, right? That you think
Micah Mays. Listen. If anybody, when you look at on the Jags side, Brian Thomas Jr. stood out in the spring. When we watched the Gators, we didn't get to see Dallas Wilson. They put him. I mean, he was basically in bubble wrap.
Right.
For the spring, they did not want him to re-injure his foot.
And they're worried about the other foot, right?
Yeah, and they're worried about the other foot. They want this guy to get to the regular season healthy. As you pointed out, you do that at receiver. You can't really do that at quarterback. And it bit the Gators in the butt last year when they tried to do that with DJ Lagway, right? Is put him in bubble wrap and get him to the season opener. That doesn't work for a quarterback. It's going to work for Dallas Wilson and the receivers, I believe. But Micah Mays was the guy who just made play after play after play. I mean, he was down the field, 6'1", 195, transfer from Wake Forest, a junior who's also now, NFL eligible with this year, and he's going to be their number 4. And they really go deeper than the Jags. The Jags their 4 include Travis Hunter. 5 and 6 are 2 sixth-round draft picks, 22 and 23 years old. Josh Cameron out of Baylor and C.J. Williams out of Stanford. You go look at the Gators. They got Bailey Stockton, who played a ton of football, knows the offense, best friends with Aaron Philo, roommates with Aaron Philo. So if he gets on the field, and he's going to get on the field, and if Aaron Philo is the quarterback, they have a connection, and that will be a guy to watch. out of the slot. TJ Abrams, another guy who flashed in the spring. And then Marquez Daniels, 6'5", 205, 4-star recruit, freshman. I don't know how much he's going to play, but he's different in terms of 6'5", 205 with a basketball background. That's a guy you want to try to get the ball to in the red zone, especially on a team that does not have a very good tight end group with the Gators. So Marquez Daniels, a guy I could see on the field, especially in specialty situations.
How do you think they use Singleton?
I think he's going to be another guy he's going to be their X, or their, one of the X or Y, because I think Vernell Brown's going to be the slot. But Singleton can play all over the place. They're going to move him as much as they can, try to get him off, again, 5'10", 182, and Vernell Brown, 5'11", 170. Neither of those guys is really big. So you're trying to get them in the move, on the move, so that you can't get hands on them at the line of scrimmage, right? They're not going to be worried about that with Dallas Wilson. They throw Dallas Wilson out there at the X and hope and pray that somebody comes and wants to play press coverage on this guy who's that physical. But with Vernell Brown and Eric Singleton, you try to get one of them in motion so that maybe you can get them coming off the field with a little bit of run, coming off the line of scrimmage with a little bit of run, and without a defender, getting their hands on.
All right, Mark. Well, great stuff. So to recap, you have it BTJ 1, Parker Washington 2, Dallas Wilson 3, Eric Singleton 4, Vernell Brown III 5, Travis Hunter 6, and Jakobi Meyers 7.
Yeah, is that stunning to you guys?
It is a little bit, but I mean, it all depends on. I get it. You want an explosive player at the top, and so BTJ certainly qualifies. And if you're worried about Jakobi Meyers' age, then I get it. It's not how I will say it's pretty different from mine, but there's no right or wrong. I mean, that's the whole point of this. Is it just sort of illustrates that both the Jaguars and the Gators have a receiving core in which it could be a number of different people that have huge years here.
Yeah, and really, I think if you look at those two teams, the similarities are receiving core is probably their number one group, and the number two group is probably pass rush. I think the Gators would say they love their pass rush and expect them to be really good, and obviously the Jags love their two, want to get more out of that pass rush, but they do love that group. And I think you can make a case that both teams are similar in that regard, that they love those groups.
All right, man. It was great seeing you today. I'm glad you're doing better. You look great. Energy's great. You made us laugh, so sense of humor is still intact.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, great.
Can't get through this without a sense of humor.
That's right. Well, great stuff, man. We certainly appreciate it. Glad you're on the road to recovery again. Fantastic seeing you. Thanks for meeting us out for lunch and joining us today. We'll look forward to chatting with you next week.
Thanks, guys. See you.
Yep.
All right, Mark Long of the Associated Press does a great job. That was a surprise.
Where to begin?
Yeah, we will begin later. Yeah, we're gonna get into this later as well.
DeChambeau here coming up too.
Yeah, what's going on with this?
So we're now an hour and 10 minutes after his round. It has something to do with he was in the rough and some kind of improved lie.
Oh wow!
So
could he get DQ'd? Has he signed the scorecard? Or
they've been in there an hour, so that means unless they caught him right away.
Yeah.
But
well, he's second right now. He was 7 under. Yeah. They're giving us a report, which obviously we can't
We're
hear.
trying to read lips.
Yeah, but we'll take a break here on the lead. We're going to do your calls, your texts next. 641-1010. You can text us. Brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. What we're looking for is the receiver that you're interested in seeing this season. It doesn't have to be a Jaguar. It doesn't have to be a Gator, but the receiver that you're most excited about watching this football season. We'll look forward to doing that next. You're listening to 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
The Lead from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts. This Open Championship update on 1010XL is teed up by TopDressing.com and LiveForeverGolf.com.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 154th Open Championship. A reminder that speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA. Bryson DeChambeau closes with back-to-back birdies at 17 and 18. He sits in second place alone for now. 7 under par, but R&A officials then drove DeChambeau back to the 5th hole where they had DeChambeau walk them through what happened in the tall grass well off the fairway. If it's ruled he improved his lie, it's 2-stroke penalty. He would drop to 5 under, 3 off the lead. No official word yet, but DeChambeau was visibly upset. Lucas Herbert and Sam Burns own the morning at Birkdale with major record-tying rounds of 62. Herbert's in the lead at 8 under, Burns 3 back at 5 under. Scotty Scheffler 4 under, 4 back. He cards another 68. No bogeys on the card today, but several missed birdie opportunities for the world number 1. I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
When you first saw her, she was out walking her dog. You didn't notice her at first. But when you finally did, it was too late. Because at that moment, you were speeding. She was out walking her dog and only had a second to let go of the leash. Your foot was on the gas, and her life was on the line. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. On Southside and JTB, for a limited time, Key Buick GMC has marked down select new GMC Sierra 1500 models. Below employee pricing, you pay less than what our employees pay. Plus, at Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Visit us or shop online at keybuickgmc.com. We are professional-grade. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drive time only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
One of Beard's Diamond's most popular events ever is back. It's Christmas in July. Right now, for a limited time, you get as much as 40% off anything in our showcases. Yes, that includes engagement rings, fashion rings, earrings, bracelets, bands, pendants, colored gemstones. This is the annual store-wide sale that everyone loves, because you get December prices in July. Up to 40% off store-wide. Don't miss Christmas in July. Exclusively at Beard's Diamond at the St. John's Town Center and online at beardsdiamonds.com. Shop local. Shop Beards.
When you're experiencing sudden, unexpected dental pain, the last thing you want to hear is that your dentist can't see you until next week. That's why I'm so glad I found Harbor Dental Care. Whenever I call, they always find a way to see me within 24 hours, and they can usually fix whatever's wrong the same day. Plus, they have locations throughout Jacksonville, so no matter what side of town I'm on, I can always count on the same great care. If you want to find a dentist who believes in treating people right, learn more at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
PGA Tour star Ricky Fowler. If you want to be the best, you have to practice with the best. That's why I had Southwest Greens install and maintain my putting green, and my synthetic lawn, and my chipping area, and my practice bunker area, and my bocce ball court, and our pole vaulting area.
Southwest Greens is the world's premier manufacturer and installer of putting greens, synthetic grass, chipping areas, practice bunkers, and just about anything else you want to do in your yard.
It's Southwest Greens.
Log on to southwestgreensofjacksonville.com to see what they can do to your backyard.
The FIFA World Cup is gearing up for the final, and there's no better place to be than Kalshi, America's #1 prediction market platform. On Kalshi, you've been able to trade on every match all the way up to Sunday's final. Will it be Argentina or Spain taking home the cup? You decide. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code 1010XL to get $10 when you trade 10. KALSHI. Kalshi. Trade the beautiful game. 18 and older only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Dailies Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Dailies is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
It's almost time to kick off the 2026 season at the bank. Whether you want to be at the center of it all as a season ticket member, lock in 3 or more games with a bundle at the bank, or cheer on the Jags at your most anticipated matchup, there's a way for everyone to be a part of the action. Seating is limited, so don't wait. Secure your tickets now by visiting jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
All right, welcome back to the lead on 1010XL, 92.5 FM. Hayes Carline here with Ryan O'Halloran and Jared Justice. We've gotten some great responses on the text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. But we're going to start with Sean in New Jersey has a call. Again, we want to know the receiver that you're most excited about watching this football season. Sean, lead us off. What you got?
Yeah, hey guys, thanks for taking my call. Definitely for me, number one has got to be Travis Hunter. Just so curious to see what he looks like in the offense this year and where he's picking up, hopefully where he left off last year. And then a couple just like other guys that non-Jaguar Gators. Cam Coleman in Texas, I'm really curious to see what he looks like with Arch Manning, and then Malachi Toney in Miami as well. I just think both of them are going to have just insane years this year, I think, so it'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, Sean, those are 3 great choices.
Yeah, Sean, Malachi Toney was on my list along with Florida State's Deuce Robinson, but you used the best word about Travis Hunter on offense this year, and that's curious. Another texter, 945, it's interesting to see how much he's used on offense. I think we're all curious about how much Travis Hunter is going to be used at receiver, particularly coming off an injury, particularly because he probably will need to be their best corner. So that I think that's going to be a week-to-week storyline based on his health and also what the plan is offensively.
Yeah, absolutely. Sean, we certainly appreciate the call. Thank you so much. I thought this was interesting. 238 threw out Ryan Williams at Alabama, who had that sensational freshman season, really had kind of that sophomore slump campaign, but he's a player that we've seen him do special things. And again, this is now year 3, which means you got to think he's thinking big year, first round pick in the NFL draft in 27.
Williams had a ton of expectations coming in last year, had a tough sledding in that Florida State game. I believe he was injured in that game, had a concussion, had a drop. So his season didn't really get off the, sort of fell off the rails. He never got it back. So that's a good one to pick. See how Alabama plays on offense this year. But I just want to hit Deuce Robinson real quick, Florida State. Yeah. I think he's going to be outstanding no matter who's at quarterback. And because he came back. Yeah, because
you just throw it up to him.
Yeah, he came back. He could have gone to the NFL draft. But one thing he said at ACC Media Days this week is, one thing when he went to visit with the advisory board is they wanted to see if he could play different positions at receiver. So I think that's how maybe Florida State can improve his stock and their offense.
Yeah, a couple other ones that we have here, again, on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. 472, Taylon Taylor at Georgia. You'll be at SEC Media Days next week, so be interested to see what Kirby Smart says about him.
Yeah, and they got the quarterback. So if you have a young receiver, you got to think Gunnar Stockton's going to make it work with him. And a couple here for me, 874 Parker Washington, I agree with that. 654 Trey Wilson from LSU, the 601 Matthew Golden from the Chiefs, and the 412 Rashee Rice from the Chiefs. So Chiefs got some issues. I think at receiver, Rice just, between discipline and injury hasn't been much of a factor.
Yeah, absolutely. Great stuff. We certainly appreciate it. When we come back on the lead, let's stick with the Jaguars. Let's bring in our good friend Kai Stevens at Jaguars.com. We'll do that next. You're listening to 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
You're listening to The Lead from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass.
If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. When it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Share your voice anytime on the 1010XL text line.
Are you serious? Installed by Lifetime Flooring.
I gotta say, you're totally blowing my mind right now.
If you can't call or email, text us. 641-1010.
This is Frank Frangie. When you buy tires from Big Chief Tire, the savings don't stop when you leave the store. Every tire purchase includes the Extra Mile program. That means $10 off every oil change, free tire rotations, free tire repairs, air pressure checks, and more. No points to track, no gimmicks, just real value from a family-owned Jacksonville business that's been serving local drivers for generations. Learn more at WeKeepJacksRollin.com.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods, a Jacksonville family business for nearly 70 years. Heck, I've been talking about them for over a decade. The Thompson family secret, Dandy's never frozen, always fresh baked bread with quality meats and cheeses, no dry crumbly subs here, only soft and tasty deliciousness. When I see that logo with the little dude with the cane on the label, it tells me I'm getting a trusted brand, a quality sandwich. So do what I do and stop in at a Daly's and make yours a Dandy today.
Hey, I'll be home in about 10 minutes. Actually, make it 8.
Hey, Mom. Yep, I'm walking home now. Mom, I'm trying to cross, but I don't think this driver sees me. No, they're driving too fast. Mom!
Speeding catches up with you. Early, on time, a little late, just get there safely. A message from the Florida Department of Transportation's Target Zero initiative.
For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Looking for an exciting, fun-filled evening the whole group can enjoy? Discover the thrill of indoor football. It's fast-paced, action-packed, and full of family fun. Get out of the heat and into the arena and enjoy Hawaiian night with the Sharks as they battle the Iowa Barnstormers. Saturday, July 18th. Kickoff at 7 and tickets start at just $15. Grab your flip-flops and favorite Hawaiian shirt and check out the amazing fire dancers at halftime. Bringing the whole crew? Try family packs. Get 4 tickets and $50 in food or merchandise vouchers, all for only $100. Go on the field after the game for the free autograph session sponsored by Flight Adventure Park. Get tickets or find out more at jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. 904-621-0700. Sharks football, where memories are made. Go Sharks!
Baloo here for Smoonez Vision. Why Smoonez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smoonez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smoonez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smoonez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmoonezVision.com today. Here you can see.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond.
Welcome back to The Lead on 1010XL 92.5 FM. I'm Hayes Carline. Please be joined with Ryan O'Halloran, Jared Justice. And it is always our privilege to bring in Kai Stevens of Jaguars.com. Kai, good afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us. How you doing?
Hi, guys. I'm good. How are you?
We're doing great. We've got some open practices coming up, and it's open. Fans can go register at Jaguars.com. It's free, but you got to register, and 10 opportunities, right, Kai?
Yeah, so they just released the dates for that. It should be on the website. It's on social media, of course, and there's 10 of them. And I think what's cool is a lot of them, because they're doing joint practices with every team that they play in the preseason, you'll get to see them go up against other teams as well. So the Panthers are coming to town. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to be here as well. And one of each of those practices will be open for fans to go check out, which is what I would sign up for if I was coming to see practice for sure. There's also that in-stadium scrimmage that they do earlier in the mornings as well on one of the days. That's always fun to kind of see them in a little bit more of like a game mode. So it's, because sometimes, when they're running the same drills, not as interesting. So it's always nice to see them do a little more scrimmage action. And I think with those joint practices and then also the scrimmage in the stadium, you'll see a little more action.
I mean, there's some great matchups in those joint practices because, again, you're going to see the ones going against the ones. You think about, Tetero McMillan going up against Travis Hunter in the Carolina one. Certainly in Tampa Bay, you think of Baker going up against that Jaguar defense. So some really attractive one-on-one matchups that I think we're going to see, Kai.
Yeah, and the energy factor is a little bit different, right? When you're going up against your own team, they're always competitive, but I feel like you let off the gas a little bit because it's your own team. You don't want anybody to get hurt. But when you're going up against another team, and especially the way that Liam Cohen kind of looks at a joint practice as almost as good, if not better, than a preseason game, they take it very seriously. And you're mentioning some of the people coming in that are cool to see. I remember they had the Bucs in a joint practice a couple years ago that we were there for, and Vita Vea is just like a giant human being. And he's one of those people that until you see in real life, you do not understand the size of which he is. So just stuff like that is always cool to see in person.
Well, I think Liam Cohen's carrot for his starters for those two joint practices are, if I like what I see, you get the game off. That's the motivation for those starters. But
what more do you need?
Yeah. So digressing. Hey, The Hunt came out last night, so I watched that. Mm-hmm. You did some of the interviews, correct, off of Iron Jaguars too?
Yeah. So okay. I do a good chunk of those, so they're pretty fun.
All right. Why do you think this has resonated so much with the players?
I think, what was cool about it, we did an episode similar to this last year as well. It's the Iron Jaguar Games, which is their off-season program. They make it a little more competitive. They divide the players up into teams, and just to keep it, because off-season can get kind of dull and kind of boring. You're not playing real football, so it's their way of kind of being competitive about it. But this was the second year, and I wasn't sure if it was going to be something where the guys kind of like rolled their eyes and like thought of it as like, maybe like a college thing. Hey, we've already done this, whatever. But they don't. They love it. They're super competitive about it. As you can see, they take it very seriously from the draft process throughout. And this is one of the most behind the scenes. I mean, we feel like we give good access with The Hunt in general, but like this one is almost entirely just like meetings with the players, them competing against each other. Like it's very much like you seeing their real personalities, which is something I think the fans really enjoy, is kind of seeing their favorite players in action and what they're actually like as a person. And just the buy-in. In fact, every single player you talk to like loves it and is like super bought into it, and they take it very seriously, and they get very mad if they don't win. I like love doing the interviews, but some of them get so mad you can't even joke with them about it because they're still mad about it.
Well, it seemed to be for several of the co-captains, if they won, great, but if they beat Foy's team, that was a victory.
Yes, because he takes it the most seriously I've ever seen about anybody about anything. He's like talking about strategy as soon as the season was over for that practically. But yeah, and he's always like, I think they always get on him a little bit about he's not a tattletale per se, but he's very like trying to get people like in trouble for certain things with the rules. So I don't think anybody really enjoys that very much. Plus they won last year, like going away. So I think they were just excited to see anybody else win.
Who were some of the players that you enjoyed interviewing the most about the Iron Jaguar Games?
I think obviously Foy is very intense about it. Dennis Gardeck was pretty intense about it because he didn't get to do it last year. So this year was really important to him. Logan's actually very funny because you would think isn't as serious about it. He's like one of the most intense people about it too, being captain and like being involved with some of that stuff and some of the special teams guys. But even Josh is like way too involved in that, like taking it way too serious. It's all of them. Like they're just, all the captains are like very involved. Jarian was just trying to get out of the team hotel.
He wouldn't shut up.
Poor guy. Poor guy. I mean, he was just trying to talk, whatever he could do to take other people out of it, and he can talk. So, yeah, he was just trying to, not have to go to the hotel for training camp. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for him.
Well, it was good stuff, and
that's quite a carrot, by the way. So
Yeah.
they don't have to. This isn't like a 48-hour, 72-hour pass. Like they don't have to go to the hotel at all during training camp. The team that won this.
To my understanding, the captains get like a parking spot. There's a couple other random things, but yeah, so they don't have to stay in the team hotel. Like, so for those unfamiliar, during training camp, they usually put everybody into a hotel, and they're at the facility. To be honest, they're at the facility from like 6
Right.
a.m. until 7, 8 p.m. There's really not a ton of free time in general, so it's really just saving them a drive home. But they would go to a hotel and then just come right back. So like you wouldn't see your family and stuff like that. So like a lot of people are, sleep in your own bed. They go to the hotel and they just come right back. For the first couple weeks of training camp, I think it's just until, it used to be the entirety of training camp. Now I think it's just until the first game maybe. So it's only a couple weeks now, but yeah, a lot of guys don't want to do that. And some feel very strong about it, like Jarian, but others don't care as much. I don't think Foye cares. I think he just wanted to get bragging rights. I don't know if Dennis Gardeck really cared about it. He was just excited to win. So I also feel bad because then there are people that are winning don't even really care about it. But yeah, that was the carrot that was being dangled.
Yeah, wow. Great stuff. Well, certainly Jaguar fans, check out The Hunt. You can see that on, pretty much any I watch it on YouTube, but it's on social media. You can find it, and they do a wonderful job. It's always a lot of fun. And yeah, the Iron Jaguar games. Look, anything that gets the players competing and not thinking about kind of the mundane off season is a good thing, and it certainly worked out well for them last year. Kai, fantastic stuff. We certainly appreciate it. Have a great weekend. We'll look forward to catching up with you next week.
Of course. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.
All right.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Yeah.
So the first competition was called the Farmer's Carry, which was 45-pound plate, and you have to carry it with below your, with both arms and see how many yards you could carry it. And think about the pressure on your hands.
Oh.
And then there was tug of war. There was medicine ball throw, pushing the sled, hanging off the bar. So, I mean, it ran the gamut. Ezra Cleveland won one. Hines Allen and Jordan Lewis's team won one. Armstead and who was his cap? Oh, Mullins. Armstead and Mullins were a captain. They won the bicycle event. So, I mean, these guys were in the indoor facility working up a sweat, and it ran from April 22nd all the way to June 10th.
Yeah, it's great stuff. When we come back on the lead, let's get it to the British Open. We've got some controversy at Royal Birkdale. We will explain it to you next. You're listening to 1010XL 92.5 FM.
This Open Championship update on 1010XL is teed up by TopDressing.com and LiveForeverGolf.com.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 154th Open Championship, sponsored by Liberty Mutual. Only pay for what you need. Bryson DeChambeau makes the cut at a major for the first time in 2026, but you won't find him celebrating. DeChambeau is pounding balls at the range close to sunset after the R&A penalized him 2 strokes for improving his lie by trampling the grass in the native area right of the fairway at the 5th hole. DeChambeau dropping from solo second at 7 under, 1 off the lead, to a tie for 5th at 5 under, 3 back. Lucas Herbert could not miss early today at Birkdale. The man from down under went super low, 62, equaling the best round in major history. Herbert 8 under for the week. Sam Burns also shot 62 today. He is 5 under, 3 back. Few notables to miss the cut: Aaron Rye, Wyndham Clark, 2 major champions from this year, also Justin Rose and Jordan Spieth. I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
The cost of mesothelioma treatments can exceed $400,000, and families often face losing their homes and life savings just to pay the bill. The Rights and Claims Department of Flint Cooper has helped victims secure financial support they need to pay for their care and ensure their family's future. If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma and don't have legal representation, call Flint Cooper now at 800-606-8169. Time is running out for you to file a claim, so don't wait. Call 800-606-8169 for a free consultation.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your sports IQ to work on the games you know best. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. Buy or sell your predictions all game long. Trade every play. with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Celebrate America's birthday with Kuhn Flowers in July. JJ LaSelva here. Purchase a dozen roses in any color for just $49.95. Just $49.95 for a dozen roses. Log on to KuhnFlowers.com.
It's The Lead with Hayes, Ryan, and JJ from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
I'm Holt Harrell with Harrell and Harrell. Choosing a law firm after an accident is an important decision. With so many messages, we know it can all sound the same. At Harrell and Harrell, we believe what sets us apart is our commitment to you. We'll help you find doctors to get you better, and we'll work hard to maximize any recovery. Visit our website and look at our reviews to see how we've helped people just like you make this important decision. Harrell and Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
Take time out with Patrick Young.
Patrick Young here, a.k.a. the Big PY, and you know I love my Florida Gators.
Friday morning at 8:30 with Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser. Tipped off by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and Kuhn Flowers on 1010XL.
Not everyone is built for a cubicle. At Local 234, apprentices get paid to learn hands-on skills like plumbing, pipe fitting, HVAC, the stuff Jacksonville runs on. No endless lectures, no massive student debt, just hands-on training, real jobs, and real pay. This is how you level up, by doing work that actually matters. Check them out at UA234.com. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Local 234. Make the right connection.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Looking for a full contact sport that just hits different? You're looking for Rugby League. The Jacksonville Axemen play the Sarasota Bull Sharks tomorrow at JU's The Rock Stadium at 7. Get there early so you don't miss the 80 minutes of nonstop action. That's tomorrow at 7. The Axemen are powered by Permit Rockstar, who simplify construction permits fast. Tomorrow night, Axemen Rugby League, 7 p.m., The Rock Stadium. It's going to get intense.
There's a lot happening at Cycles of Jacksonville. Tell them about it, Greg.
It's summertime and it's time to ride. We continue to roll through our demo days. We've got yet another one coming up. Sully's going to fill you in on all the details, but you're going to want to be here to ride a Triumph.
Yes, we have Triumph Roadster Demo Day, June 19th and 20th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. You do not want to miss this one. Come on down to Cycles of Jacksonville.
We are your place to be, especially if you want to ride. Everybody's always smiling when they get off those demos.
Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic near Regency. CyclesofJacksonville.com.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Julington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
1010XL's coverage of ACC football kickoff is brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234. Listen for interviews of coaches, players, and analysts as they preview the upcoming ACC football season.
Hey gang, Prosser here. Nothing like a good promise kept, and that's what you get from the Promise Keepers, Chad and Sandy at Chad and Sandy Realty. Your home sold guaranteed, or they'll buy it. Chad and Sandy have the largest pool of buyers in the area. Their home selling program is designed to maximize your sales, and the proof is there. Need max price? Chad and Sandy's science-based system is a proven, repeatable system guaranteed to sell, or they wouldn't offer you this promise. Using their proprietary Market Max system, Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they'll buy it. No required repairs. Pick your move date. You are good to go. Robert at Cordova Palms in St. Augustine said, I needed to downsize, but my home had already been listed with another agent for 136 days and failed to sell. I heard Chad and Sandy on the radio, decided to give them a try, made all the difference, bought me a full price offer just 18 days. They can for you too. Go to ChadandSandy.com.
I'm Olivia Brooks with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, brought to you by Gate Petroleum Company.
Jaguars training camp begins July 29th at the Miller Electric Center. You can get free tickets online. On practice day, arrive at Lot Z 45 minutes early, where a shuttle will take you to the field. Regular season tickets for home games at Everbank are also still available, so grab your tickets now for all upcoming events at jaguars.com. It's 92 degrees at 4:50. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Welcome back to The Lead on 1010XL 92.5 FM. We've got Ryan O'Halloran. We've got Jared Justice. I am Hayes Carline. Let's talk about the British Open, Ryan, because Royal Birkdale, the morning group, really took advantage of the conditions. We saw 2 different 62s. Unbelievable stuff there. But it got harder this afternoon, and then it got controversial within the last hour with Bryson DeChambeau, who was at 7 under when he finished his round. But then something happened.
Yeah, so early in the round, there was some controversy over improving his lie. He was in the thick stuff. I've never seen this before. They brought him back out to that hole to sort of explain himself. Well, at that point, you can say whatever you want because there's no ball.
Right.
But they docked him 2 shots. That overshadows 2 guys shooting 62 today.
It's amazing.
Including Sam Burns, the American.
Yeah.
So Bryson DeChambeau he blew off Todd Lewis, who's a rights holder. It's like, God, talk to Todd. He's
Poor
harmless.
Todd.
Poor Todd. I got my headset and everything. But the fact that DeChambeau has been grumpy, he's been terrible in the majors.
He's missed, all 3 cuts going into Birkdale.
He plays for Liv.
Right.
He's worried about only his brand.
Yeah, it's disintegrated.
So this is sort of I don't know if it's
the cherry on top.
Yeah, I don't know if it's poetic justice, but I'm sure there's at least one golf writer locally who's enjoying this today.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's interesting because he's still very much in the tournament. Now it was the 5th hole. It was the par 4. He made bogey, but then when they assessed the 2-stroke penalty, it became a 7. It became a triple bogey. So, but again, he's at 5 under. He's still right in this thing, but it will be really interesting to see. How does Bryson DeChambeau respond from now this latest bit of adversity that is struck? Because he could come out tomorrow and shoot 80, and I don't think anybody would be surprised. Or maybe he, is able to. I mean, look, he's playing great. So from a confidence standpoint, he should feel good about where he is. But it will be really interesting. This is probably the most interesting player in the field.
Yeah.
That this could have happened to.
Well, like you said, he's only tied for 5th place. Here's how he should approach the 3rd round. I'm fortunate to be still in the tournament.
Yeah.
Because technically he's
could have gotten DQ'd.
He could have got DQ'd if
he'd signed the scorecard.
If he signed the scorecard, but I'm guessing that the RNA were waiting in the scorecard and say, hey, we have a conversation about that.
Right.
But he should be fortunate it was only a 2-shot deal. He's tied for 5th, and he'll probably be in the 3rd to last group. But yeah, still very much in this tournament. And let's face it, he needed this week because he'd been terrible in the majors, which is the only time most everybody watches him play. And so, he's in, with the media stuff, a lot of other guys are talking. Say what you want about Tiger Woods, and I've said it. He talked every time.
Right.
Scheffler talked every time. Phil talked every time. And now he's lumping it. Well, you guys are giving, so I'm sort of hoping DeChambeau would fall on his face today.
We've got a caller. Let's get to Leo in Jack's Beach. Leo, what's on your mind? You're in with us at the Lead. How you doing?
How you doing, Hayes? How you doing, Ryan?
Hey, Leo.
Doing great.
Thank you for taking my call.
Sure thing.
I want to ask you. It seemed like to me, and I've been watching y'all show for the last 3-4 weeks. Y'all still kind of hyper cynical on Trevor, even though he had a MVP finalist type season. I want to know, what does it take for y'all to really change your mind about whatever perception that you have of him and rise him to like a race of like those 6 to 10 quarterbacks in the league where you feel like, I feel like he kind of belongs.
All right. Great stuff, Leo. Yeah, we appreciate it, Leo.
And Leo, it's a good point because I don't know if it's hyper cynical as much as show me more. And, he had a great second half of the season. Pete Prisco voted him third for MVP.
That's right.
He finished fifth.
Yeah.
So that's a credit to Trevor Lawrence. But now you have to put it together for 17 games. And I think Leo's probably referring to, he wasn't in the top 10 of this ranking poll.
And I saw 62nd today when the NFL put out their top 100.
The 62nd is really low.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, that should have been higher. But if you know the ins and outs of how much of a farce that poll is, you guys wouldn't pay any attention to it.
Right.
You do pay attention to
the executives.
In the top 10. And the only name I probably would have called issue with is Justin Herbert, and he was 9th. And yeah, Trevor Lawrence in the 13-14 range. But if he comes out and performs the way he did in December and November, and he does that again in September and October, everybody else will be sold. I don't want to say my jury is out, but my last glimpse of him, he did not have a great playoff game. He threw a couple of touchdowns. We also had a couple of interceptions and the failed fourth down. So I don't want to put that one game on him, but I think what I want to see is, can he do it over a full season?
I think that's it for me as well. I mean, we're not that far removed from like the Arizona game where we were wondering like what's wrong with Trevor Lawrence.
I wrote they have a Trevor Lawrence problem.
Yeah, and certainly I was saying the same thing on these airwaves. Now he closed the year great, and I'm very optimistic about what Trevor Lawrence is going to do this season. I think he absolutely has a chance to break the franchise single season record for touchdown passes at 35. I think he's absolutely got a chance for the yardage record at 4,428 because, Ryan, and this goes back to he's comfortable with Liam now. Liam's comfortable with him. I love the weapons in terms of the versatility that Trevor has. Trevor should always have an answer. But if they stay healthy, if he's got Jacoby Myers, Parker Washington, Brian Thomas Jr., a mix of Travis Hunter, Brenton Strange, I mean, there should be on the vast majority of their snaps, there should be a matchup that Trevor Lawrence can take advantage of. And I do think you're now getting to a point in his career where he will have a better understanding of how to attack defenses. So I do think he's headed for a career year. But I would say if you have picked up on any sort of cynical comments from us, it would be just that. He just needs to do it another year, which is really a storyline for the entire organization, is having success and then coming back the next season and backing it up.
Yeah, and one thing we talked about off air earlier today is he had 9 rushing touchdowns. He should not approach that number this year.
Right.
They have to do better running it in the end zone area in particular. Here's what's working in Trevor Lawrence's favor. Besides the weapons you mentioned, I think he's one of the top 5 play callers in football.
Right.
And they are going to have a schematic advantage offensively week in and week out.
Without a doubt. When we come back on the lead, we're going to talk about Deshaun Watson, Mike Norvell, and Jordan Spieth. How does that make sense? I'll explain it next. You're listening to 1010XL 92.5 FM.
This is The Lead from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This World Cup soccer update is laced up by Valvoline Instant Oil Changes and Houston's Meats.
Westwood One Sports presents this World Soccer Update, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people. 102 matches down in this 2026 World Cup and 2 more to go. 24 hours from now, France and England meet in the third-place match in Miami. Now, if you're looking for a reason to tune in, well, don't listen to England head coach Thomas Tuchel.
Nobody of these players, nobody of French players wants to play for this match. They want to play in the final. We gave everything to be in the final. Everyone plays to win the World Cup, but it is what it is.
There is a second straight Golden Boot at stake for Kylian Mbappe, something no player has ever done. Mbappe and Lionel Messi are tied with 8 goals. The Golden Boot, just about the only award Messi hasn't won. He can make it back-to-back World Cup titles if Argentina can beat Spain in the final on Sunday. With this 2026 World Soccer Update, Brad Heller, Westwood One Sports.
Get ready to gear up for the final stretch. Henkel Summer of Soccer Sweepstakes is giving fans the chance to win U.S. Soccer store gift cards to stock up on everything you need to support the home team. Last chance to win, enter now. No purchase necessary. Starts June 16th and ends July 31st, 2026. Must be 18 and a resident of the contiguous United States. Sponsored by Henkel. Henkel, proud partner of U.S. Soccer.
When the moments in your life are too important to miss, you can trust O'Reilly Auto Parts to keep you and your plans on the road. Our professional parts people can test your vehicle's battery and even give it a charge if needed. In most cases, we can install your new battery for free. It's just one of the many services we provide at O'Reilly Auto Parts to ensure life's best moments don't find you stranded.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Nobody calls a service company hoping to hear they need thousands of dollars in repairs they weren't expecting. At Duck Duck Rooter, Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning, we keep it simple. Find the problem, explain the solution, provide a fair upfront price. No pressure, no scare tactics, no turning a simple service call into a sales presentation. Just honest recommendations and quality work from a local team that's earned the trust of homeowners across Northeast Florida. Duck Duck Rooter. When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
It's Christmas in July at Beard's Diamonds with as much as 40% off everything in the store. Maybe it's time to treat yourself to a fabulous fashion ring, necklace, or bracelet. You can do it now and save as much as 40% off Beard's already unbeatable prices. And don't forget, Beard's is the town center's locally owned diamond superstore. Don't settle for the corporate chain store experience when you can get the value, service, and attention you deserve. Don't miss Christmas in July. Save up to 40% exclusively at Beard's Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center.
Sent in, and Sporting Jacks breaks through first.
For the latest on Jacksonville's pro soccer teams, join the Sporting Jacks Coaches Show, presented by Honda of the Avenues, every Tuesday night at 6 on 1010 AM and 1010XL.com.
Rick Ballou here. DraftKings is live in all 50 states. Yes, that means you, Florida. The Cup is down to its final matches. One trophy, one champion. DraftKings has you covered for every single one. The DraftKings app is now live in Florida. So whether you're catching the early kickoff before work or the late match at the bar, you are in on every minute, every match, every moment, all in one app right here in Florida, the world's biggest stage in the palm of your hand. New DraftKings customers sign up with the code 1010XL. Spend $5 to get $200 in total rewards over 21 days. That's code 1010XL in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click to claim, issued in non-withdrawable. Predictions, dollars that expire in 1 year and July 19th. Terms dkng.co/predictions. Promo.
I'm Alan Tyre with Trustline Mortgage. My business partners Bill Pappas and Kim Rimley want to thank all of our clients, CPAs, attorneys, bankers, and real estate agents who refer us business every day. If you're ready to purchase, build, or refinance your home, call Trustline Mortgage, your hometown mortgage source since 1989. Call us today at 904-381-LOAN, TrustlineMortgage.com. Trust your instincts and follow the line to Trustline Mortgage.
Trustline Mortgage, NMLS, 331480. Alan Tyre, NMLS, 246490. Bill Pappas, NMLS, 218443. Ken Remley, NMLS, 246445.
Nothing says All-American like a great meal and a great deal. MyGate Rewards members. Grab any Roller Grill favorite, Lay's brand chips, and an ice cold Pepsi or Gatorade, all for just $5.50. The All-American meal deal only at Gate. See store for details.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Summertime is here, and that means it's grilling season. Now, before you overpay at the big box stores, make a stop at Houston's Meat Company on Main Street in Jacksonville. For more than 50 years, Houston's has been Jacksonville's local butcher shop, serving up quality meats, incredible prices, and the kind of service you just can't find at the grocery chain. Steaks, burgers, chicken, ribs, whatever's on the grill this weekend, Houston's has you covered. Shop local, grill better. Follow Houston's Meats on social for updated weekly specials.
The mosquitoes are out in full force. Before they ruin another cookout or pool day, call the experts at Royal Pest Services. Their mosquito and outdoor pest treatments target mosquitoes, gnats, and other nuisance bugs so you can enjoy your backyard. Royal Pest Services. Take back your yard.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Can't stay
Welcome back to The Lead on 1010XL, 92.5 FM. Hayes Carline here with Ryan O'Halloran and Jared Justice. Ryan, how's Bryson DeChambeau handling his two-stroke penalty?
He's having a meltdown on the range. Kevin Van Valkenburg from Friday Golf is among several reporters who are on the range. DeChambeau is now whistling as he hits balls in the dark, which nobody can see. What do you guys think of my swing right now? Then DeChambeau goes, "Are you guys hungry? I got some Albans. I got some beef sticks." Now the capper. DeChambeau's agent says that Bryson has until his tee time tomorrow to decide if he's playing or not. He's a lot of things. He's not a cheater. If he drops out of this tournament, he should be suspended because he's top 5 in a major and he's acting like a freaking baby.
He's still 5 under. Whether you were, first off, no one's accusing him of being a cheater. Like, things happen. You're in this brush. Yeah, he may have stepped where he shouldn't have stepped, but I don't think anybody is suggesting that if a golfer gets a 2-stroke penalty that they're automatically a cheater.
Yeah.
You know, things happen on a golf course. It's a rigid sport. In terms of, you're 5 under, dude. Just regroup.
Suck it up.
Suck it up.
Go
get
get
back out there tomorrow. You're obviously playing great. I mean, I'm with you completely. If he's not going to withdraw. I can't imagine he'll withdraw. But if he does withdraw, it'll be one of the saddest stories that we've seen in golf in the last 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't Judge Smales in Caddyshack kicking the ball onto the fairway.
Right.
Inadvertent or not, I think all these guys know what they're doing in terms of the lie and the footing and stuff. Maybe he got his hand caught in the cookie jar. I'm not sure. Here's the thing. You're lucky it was only 2-shot penalty, and you're lucky you're still in the tournament. Go win a major, because if you do, you're another step toward a career Grand Slam, and she's another step toward the Hall of Fame, which with your ego, that means something.
Yeah, without a doubt. And he's fighting for relevancy. The LIV is gone. It's disintegrated. He's got to get back to the PGA Tour. It'd be nice to have leverage as the British Open champion in terms of making that deal and getting, a deal like Koepka got. That's, not to say Koepka got away. I mean, he had to pay a $5 million penalty to charity and things like that. And there's certain events he can't be in, but it does seem like, Koepka did it, and he's been playing tour events all year, and he's been welcomed back. So
and Patrick Reed is taking his medicine; he'll be back soon.
Absolutely. So yeah, that'll be very interesting. Speaking of Royal Birkdale, Jordan Spieth won the British Open the last time it was played at Royal Birkdale. I think we've seen the last today of Jordan Spieth is having any kind of, well, you hope that. Can he find that spark? Can he get back to that elite form? Jordan Spieth was 9 over for the tournament last I saw.
He finished 10 over, tied with David Duval.
Oh, wow.
And only 4 players were worse than him. And the low light for Spieth today was a 3-putt from 3 feet.
Unbelievable. And so it got me thinking, like, in terms of most likely reclamation projects here in terms of the world of sports, and 3 immediately popped into my head. Spieth was one of them. The other 2, Deshaun Watson and Mike Norvell. If you had to put your money on one of the 3 to get back to, let's just say, very good form in their profession, which of the 3 would you take?
As crazy it is, and I researched all 3 of these guys this morning. Mike Norvell. I mean, I wouldn't have guessed that would be my conclusion, but you dig into Spieth's numbers and just a couple. First of all, Jordan Spieth's only 32 years old. Feels like he's been around forever. He's got 16 wins. He was number 1 for 26 weeks at one point. He obviously got the majors. 2013 to 2021, 3 majors in the majors, 3 wins, 12 top 10s. 23 to 26, no wins, 2 top 10s. 4 missed cuts.
Unbelievable.
So he had the wrist surgery, but he can't drive it very well. He's never been a bomber. He's not really putting that great. And here's my thing. The stat that jumped out to me, when you're not bombing it, you got to be good from inside 100 yards. Right now he's 143rd on tour, which means he's not hitting it close and he's not putting well. I just don't see it. I think his Ryder Cup days are over. He's got 18 years until he's eligible for the senior tour.
Yeah.
That is a long time. I think one of the things he may want to do is just start over. Swing, coach.
Right.
Caddy.
All of it. Yeah, all of it. No doubt about it. Mike Norvell is interesting. I'd probably go Deshaun Watson just because I like Todd Monken as a coach. He's an offensive mind. There's no pressure on Deshaun Watson anymore. No one's expecting anything. It's already regarded as the worst trade in NFL history. So it's not like he really has anything to lose. And I feel like Cleveland at least has decent weapons. I do think he'll win the job. I think he'll beat out Shedeur. So if he's fully healthy, I think it's a long shot on any of these three that they're going to, get back to being near the top of their professions. But for me, it was Deshaun Watson, just because I could kind of see him having a better than expected year in Cleveland. And obviously he'll move on. I don't think Cleveland probably keeps him because there's just so much scar tissue in that relationship. But this guy was a great NFL player. Not just for a season or two. He was a great NFL player in Houston for multiple years. And he's still, it's not like he's 36. I mean, Deshaun Watson, early 30s, I would think at this point. So, I mean, he should still have a fair amount of football left in him athletically if the Achilles, which he tore and then retore, that cost him 2 years, if that's back. So for me, it would be somebody like Deshaun Watson. Like, obviously, environment's crucial. He'd have to get to a spot. How old is he?
He turns 31 the day after the Jaguar game.
Okay, so he's 30 now, will be 31. Basically, this will be his year 31 in the NFL. So anyway, I mean, again, these are all long shots, but it got me thinking, when you think about, like, we just saw one of the greatest comeback stories in sports last NFL season was Sam Darnold. I mean, we're not that far removed from Sam Darnold being a total bust for the New York Jets to playing a game in Jacksonville where they were putting up the Ghostbusters music and logo on the scoreboard because he had said in the loss the previous week, I'm seeing ghosts out there. And now, not only was he the starting quarterback for the Seahawks, they didn't win it in spite of Sam Darnold. I mean, his numbers weren't like gaudy, but he was certainly very good when they needed him to be. And anyway, so it was interesting kind of thinking of Darnold as we get ready to embark on another NFL season, like, who else that might happen to?
My thing on Watson is the 2 Achilles injuries. How much does that remove his mobility, his athleticism, which was his calling card in Houston? There's 2 reasons why you could say Deshaun Watson's got a shot. You mentioned the first one is Todd Monken, who was hired to see if he can salvage him, but mostly hired for when they draft the next guy, which they probably could do this coming year. The other thing about Watson that would give me a little bit of a hope, his career completion percentage is 66%. That's excellent. So he's accurate. That will get him out of some issues. But my thing is, since 2021, he's played 19 games. Some of that was his fault. Others, just bad injury luck. So I agree if Cleveland starts him in week 1 and beyond, because for once and for all, you got to find out.
Right. What about Tua? You think Tua's got anything left, or do you think we never see Tua in a substantial role again?
I think he's starting the journeyman part of his career. He'll hold the seat warm in Atlanta until Penix is ready. His career record's 44-42. But I think it shows you how good Mike McDaniel is and how good Mike McDaniel is going to be for Justin Herbert at the Chargers. That 2 years ago, he completed 73% of his passes. In 2023, he led the league in passing yards, but he also had Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. How he does now, the beginning of the season, he's got Pitts, got London, but I think at this point,
Stefanski's a good coach.
Yeah, so I think he'll be
I agree with you.
500 quarterback.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think we're going to see a resurgence in Tua, but I thought it was worth asking. I think it's a little unfair for me to throw Dabo Swinney in this group. He's way more accomplished, 2 national titles in fairly recent history. But certainly there's also been a regression. What do you think about Dabo? Does Dabo get back to, where everybody considers him one of the top 3 coaches in college football?
I mean, I think now that he's embraced the portal stuff, you can, there's always a chance a team like that with that recruiting base and the guys, high school players that you can try and develop, that you get lightning in a bottle, make a playoff, especially if it goes to 16 and eventually goes to 24. So I think that is possible, but 7-6 last year, but then before that, 10, 9, 11, 10, 10, 10, 14, 15, 12. So really, they were complaining about a 10-4 season. But I think Dabo, and I always thought he'd end up at Alabama, there's really nowhere for him to go right now.
Yeah.
So he's sort of got to stick it there and make it work, get the right coordinators in place. And he says something yesterday that was pretty, I disagree with. He goes, well, we're not going to do the nice shiny object at quarterback. Well, it's working other places in the portal.
Mario Cristobal says, good.
Yeah. Indiana said, we'll raise our trophy with Mendoza for a year.
Yeah, exactly. I can't believe we haven't talked a little bit more about this guy in the offseason, just in general. But it speaks to the stunning fall of his iconic career. Bill Belichick. What do you think happens to Belichick this year at North Carolina?
Well, not much.
Yeah.
I don't.
I mean, that seems like it's going to end about as bad as any second act has ever ended.
Yeah, and it's what was his record last? 4-8. Yeah, 4-8, and they got blown out in the beginning when all those ESPN people. Bill Belichick's my friend, so I'm picking them to beat TCU. Well, how about that North Carolina stinks?
Yeah.
Why don't you pick TCU?
He says that they're night and day better than they were last year as a team, but
maybe 6-6 or 7-5. That arrangement remains peculiar because why not just sit out a year and see if you can convince an NFL team? I mean, he'll go to the grave saying Rich McKay blocked him from getting hired in Atlanta, which somebody who worked there, that person doesn't really dispute that because that's how it works there.
Right.
But he's not going to be an NFL coach again.
No.
And he's a long way from the record, even if he does come back.
This is probably his last year as a head coach.
Yeah.
Because I mean, North Carolina at this point, I know they're paying him a ton, but I mean, you gotta pay that buyout and move on. I mean, it's been a debacle. It's been not only just a debacle on the field, it's just been a total embarrassment.
Yeah, and one of the great tales about that first offseason was they cleaned house, and then they realized they fired too many people, so they started asking people to come back. Wait, this is a bigger job than we thought.
Right.
So
yeah, it's going to be interesting. What would you say? Greatest comeback ever in sports? Like George Foreman, Ben Hogan. What is there one that you particularly think is stands out at the top?
I mean, Ben Hogan is a good one. And put me on the spot there. I'm trying to think NFL.
Yeah, NFL is interesting. I mean, again, Darnold would have to be high on the list. I mean, when you talk about a guy that was left for dead and ended up winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah. So that's a good one.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah.
Maybe next week. I got to do some prep on that one.
All right, there you go. Good stuff. When we come back on The Lead, we will give you the golden moment. We will do that next on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The Lead from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
The past comes to life in the present.
And the Jaguars are going to the playoffs.
The memories bridge the gap to the future.
From 27-0 to win the game.
Experience the most play-by-play sports on 1010XL.
Hey folks, 0% financing is back at Nimnick Chevrolet, but don't expect it to last. This is one of Chevrolet's most popular offers. It doesn't come around very often, but right now, qualified buyers can get 0% financing for 60 months on select Chevy Silverado 1500 trucks and Chevy Equinox SUVs. Plus, of course, the largest selection of new Chevrolets in the region and always the best price guarantee. There's never a better time to buy at Nimnick. Now, don't wait for this offer to disappear. Look, you know the drill. I've been buying my cars from Nimnick forever. I'm proud of that fact. Been doing it since 1982, and I've always been treated right. I don't expect that to change. You will be treated the same way. Trust me on this. Visit NimnickChevy.com or stop by Nimnick Chevrolet today. Remember, the largest inventory, the best prices, 0% financing. Where do you get that? I can tell you. Nobody knows that better than I do. And I can tell you where to get it. Nobody but Nimnick.
This is Hayes Carlyon for Harrell and Harrell. After an accident, everything can feel chaotic and stressful. You're dealing with insurance calls, medical appointments, car repairs, and for most people, it's stressful and unfamiliar territory. That's where Harrell and Harrell comes in. Their team knows how overwhelming this time can be, and they guide you through every step of the process so you're never left wondering what comes next. If you've been injured and need someone in your corner, call Harrell and Harrell at 251-1111.
This is David Lane. You've probably heard me talk about Southeast Orthopedic Specialists by now. Gotta tell you, they're not dragging me in here to do this. I volunteer to share my good experiences. Whatever your level of discomfort is, let Southeast Orthopedic take a look. You'll be glad you did.
I'm David Garrard. If you have an orthopedic problem, take it to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hacker here for Cornerstone Interior Solutions. If your AC is working overtime every summer, your insulation may be the problem. Homeowners and builders across Northeast Florida are calling Cornerstone to upgrade to spray foam insulation. It seals homes, crawl spaces, garages, blocking in cool air and blocking out heat. So your home stays cooler, your system runs easier, and your energy bills stay under control. Don't wait for peak heat. Visit CornerstoneInteriorSolutions.com.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
Hey man, what's Hard Rock Bet giving new players?
If you win your first $5 bet, you get $150 in bonus bets.
$750? ¿Cuánto? Oh, was that Ronaldinho? Sounds like his first bet scored.
Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook. Roll with us. New customers bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Payable in bonus bets, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Longer days, warmer nights, and a backyard that brings everyone together. Spring and summer in Florida means pool days, backyard barbecues, and night swims under the stars. Pick it here. For nearly 50 years, Surfside Pools have been creating the backdrops for life's best memories. From weekly service and repairs to remodels, commercial maintenance, and new pool construction, Surfside does it all. Ready to float happy? SurfsidePools.net or call 904-246-2666. Surfside Pools. Summer starts here. License number CPC 044080.
Jaguars fans, grab your passport. Open and fund a new Everbank Performance account for your chance to win the Everbank London Getaway Experience. One winner gets round-trip airfare for two, 4 nights hotel, and 2 tickets to the Jags game in London this October. Start your journey today at everbank.com/London. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the 50 United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry period from 6/29 to 8/27/26. Get official rules and details at everbank.com/London Rules. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank N.A. Member FDIC.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
All right, the golden moment today was Mark Long. We asked Mark, who covers the Jags and Gators for the Associated Press, rank the top 6 receivers in terms of the season you expect them to have among those Jaguar receivers, Jacoby Myers, Parker Washington, Brian Thomas Jr., and those Gator receivers, Dallas Wilson, Eric Singleton, Vernell Brown III. Both those teams incredibly excited about their receiving core. And Mark gave us a surprise. He went with BTJ 1 because of his explosiveness, then Parker Washington, then Dallas Wilson, then Eric Singleton, then Vernell Brown III, then Travis Hunter, who we put above Jacoby Myers. Thought that was very interesting as well. Myers he had last because he was a little worried about the age. Ryan, give us your list.
Well, I did not include Travis Hunter for the purpose of this exercise.
I did not either.
I'll give you my 1 through 6 and then break it down a little bit. 1, I have Jacoby Myers.
Okay.
2, Parker Washington. 3, Singleton. 4, Wilson. 5, Brown. 6, BTJ. Why I had Myers up? I based this list on trust of the quarterback and production. Myers has both. He's had 800 yards or more 5 straight years. Last year, he was on pace for about the same if he had been here for the full year. Parker Washington, we could go on and on about him. He increased all his numbers. I think he's a terrific player. I go with Singleton to lead the Florida Brigade. 162 career catches. When you're going to be playing with a young quarterback, regardless if it's Jones or Philo, I think he's going to become a trusted weapon. Wilson, obviously the size, 4 games last year. Brown, 5'11", 40 catches, I think 12.8. This should be a little higher. No touchdowns. Great. What an offense. And then 6th, I have Thomas because I just don't have a lot of trust in him other than run straight down the field.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've got some similarities with you, some differences. I went with Dallas Wilson at 1. I mean, if Dallas Wilson stays healthy, he's uncoverable in college football. Now, again, you could say, can Philo, can Jones, whoever's the quarterback, can they get him the ball consistently? And I get that. But I think in terms of huge year, I think Dallas Wilson, if he can stay healthy, is going to become a superstar in college football this season. I went with Eric Singleton second for a couple of reasons. Obviously, we know this staff loves him. He was their biggest NIL addition this offseason by a good margin. They're paying him a nice chunk of money. I believe it's around $1.5 million is what we were told. So obviously, they've got big plans for Eric Singleton. Dane Brugler came out this week. He's starting to work on his 2027 draft review. And so he was talking about the receivers, and this is the draft analyst for The Athletic. And I was surprised. He had Eric Singleton as his fourth best senior receiver in the upcoming draft, which, again, I understand there'll be a lot of underclassmen that bump Singleton down. That's still very high praise. If you're the fourth best, and again, this is one man's opinion, but if Eric Singleton's the fourth best senior receiver off the board, you're probably talking about a second, third round pick, which obviously a very talented player. So I went Dallas Wilson 1, Eric Singleton 2. I went Jakobi Meyers 3 because of what you're talking about. You can count on Jakobi Meyers. So I think the relationship he has with Trevor Lawrence on the field, is sensational. Again, with a full offseason. I still can't believe Jakobi Meyers showed up at the trade deadline and just instantly was as consistently productive as he was. I then went with Parker Washington, and then Vernell Brown III, and then I, like you, went with Brian Thomas Jr. last. Look, he looked great in the offseason, and that's awesome. That's exciting. It was good to see Brian Thomas Jr. catching the ball well, all that. I'm going to have to see it with pads on and contact. I just can't get beyond the shrinking the neck into the shoulders last year, avoiding contact, drops. I know he got better as the year went on, but I need to see it. And he may end up, Mark may be right. I mean, that was what was fun about this, is I think there'd be a lot of interchangeable parts here depending on who you were asking. But at the end of the day, both the Gators and the Jaguars should feel very good about their receivers.
Yeah, one thing about Singleton is his yards per catch went from 14.9 to 13.5 at Georgia Tech and then down to 9.2 at Auburn. Maybe that was a scheme thing, but he has the capability to stretch the field. And if you got guys running down the field, the O-line protection holds up, I think this can be an explosive offense. And if teams have to start playing two deep safeties against the Gators, that's going to play right into Jaden Baugh.
Absolutely, yeah. Great point. You know that defenses are going to load up to stop the run, particularly with a young quarterback. So those weapons, I mean, again, a guy like Dallas Wilson in single coverage, I mean, if I'm John Summerall and Buster Faulkner, I'm telling Philo or Jones, anytime you see Dallas Wilson being covered one-on-one, that's where you're going with the football. So we'll see. Lots of fun. Who's going to win the Claret Jug?
Not DeChambeau.
So you think he falls apart after this?
I think he just sort of plods along a little bit.
Yeah.
I think Fleetwood is in a good spot.
Yeah, 4 under.
4 under. I thought he was my pick before the tournament started. I did not pick a second and third place finisher. I just picked a winner. So I'm going to stick with Tommy winning on his home soil to get that first major.
All right. That'd be a huge story. What about the World Cup final, Spain versus Argentina?
It's so, for some reason, for me, it's anticlimactic because I was so following England. And, Argentina, I think Spain wins in extra time.
All right. Very good stuff.
How about you?
I think Scheffler. I'm going to go with Scotty. I just think that back-to-back 68s. I watched every shot of his first round. I didn't get to see anything today because obviously we were going down to have lunch with Mark in Gainesville. But from what I understand today, I don't think he made bogey all day. So he made nothing in terms of putting. So put himself in great position, couldn't buy a putt today. But he's in control. And when Scheffler's in control, I think when you've got 36 holes left to go, he's going to chase down these guys and maybe even win this event by 3 or 4 shots.
Yeah, I think the key now for the next 2 days is everybody's sort of going to be playing at the same time.
Yes.
So you're not going to have...
There's no advantage anymore with wind.
The early, late doesn't play into it.
Yeah, that's a great point. When we come back, we'll close out the show. Ryan's going to be at SEC Football Media Days next week. He'll tell us what he's going to be looking at when he goes to Tampa to talk to the Gators, talk to the Dogs, and Greg Sankey as well, so that should be a lot of fun. We'll do that next. You're listening to 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
You're listening to The Lead from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care. Official dental partner of the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The finals for the World Cup on Sunday at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, as Argentina takes on Spain. Argentina, they're the defending Cup champions. They have scored a tournament-best 19 goals, led by Lionel Messi, who has 8, and they're plus 132 to repeat as Cup champions. Spain last won the Cup in 2010, and they've allowed just 1 goal in this entire tournament. They are minus 152. As far as the Golden Boot Award given to the player who has scored the most goals, Messi is the betting favorite at minus 200. Kylian Mbappe of France, who still has a consolation game to play against England, he is at plus 150.
Progressive helping veterans drive their lives forward. More info, keysofprogress.com.
I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
Ever call a service company for a simple repair, and suddenly you're being told you need to replace everything in your house? Not at Duck Duck Rooter. Whether it's plumbing, septic, or air conditioning, we start with one goal. Solve the problem you called about. No pressure, no scare tactics, no surprise charges. Just honest service done right. That's why homeowners across Northeast Florida trust Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Instant Keys is turning 25. A quarter century of saving the day when your keys mysteriously vanish. Seriously, it was just in my pocket. Or when that remote fob decides to quit working.
The dealership is such a hassle.
For 25 years, Instant Keys has been the go-to locksmith service for car keys, house keys, transponders, re-keys, and even high-tech smart locks. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you for honest, professional locksmith service. Use Instant Keys.
Look no further, folks. I found the best wings in Jacksonville. Frank Frangie here. Bono's Barbecue now has the best wings, and my new go-to wing flavors are garlic parm and lemon pepper. Nothing cools you down this summer like their new strawberry lemonade. So head to Bono's today and get 6 wings and a side for $10.99 or a 10-wing basket for just $15.99. But hurry, this deal ends July 31st. To find a Bono's near you, head to bonosbarbecue.com. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Hi, I'm Blake Bortles. People know I've always said if I wasn't playing football, I'd probably be on a construction site. So Next Gen Roofing finally let me live the dream.
Blake, why are you wearing a red practice jersey?
Always worn it for safety.
Right. Well, around here, the red jersey means you're the new guy. So you're in charge of garbage cleanup.
Perfect. I love garbage time. Always excelled in it.
It's not exactly what I meant.
Good thing Next Gen Roofing has real pros handling everything from family homes to large commercial buildings. Next Gen, teamed up with you.
Teamed up with you.
Tailgaters Parking's approaching sellout for this upcoming season. Permanent restrooms, all-day security, and on-site restaurant pavilion. Due to stadium construction, your previous parking may be gone. Log on to tailgatersparking.com today.
Looking for an exciting, fun-filled evening the whole group can enjoy? Discover the thrill of indoor football. It's fast-paced, action-packed, and full of family fun. Get out of the heat and into the arena and enjoy Hawaiian night with the Sharks as they battle the Iowa Barnstormers. Saturday, July 18th. Kickoff at 7 and tickets start at just $15. Grab your flip-flops and favorite Hawaiian shirt and check out the amazing fire dancers at halftime. Bringing the whole crew? Try family packs. Get 4 tickets and $50 in food or merchandise vouchers, all for only $100. Go on the field after the game for the free autograph session sponsored by Flight Adventure Park. Get tickets or find out more at jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. 904-621-0700. Sharks football, where memories are made. Go Sharks!
Santa Claus normally avoids Florida this time of year, but not this year. Christmas in July is happening right now at Beard's Diamonds. Get up to 40% off now through July 27th. Beard's showcases are stocked with all new fashion jewelry, exquisite colored gemstone pieces, and the best selection of diamonds in North Florida. Rounds, emerald cuts, princess cuts, cushion cuts, ovals, from a half carat to 10 carats and more. Come and find the perfect engagement ring now at Beard's and save up to 40%. Beard's Diamonds at the shops at Town Center and online at beardsdiamonds.com.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Welcome back to The Lead on 1010XL, 92.5 FM. Hayes Carline here with Ryan O'Halloran and Jared Justice. You're going to be at SEC Football Media Days in Tampa next week. Greg Sankey going to be at the podium.
Yeah.
What do you think, what would you suggest Greg Sankey, shares with us when he gets up there?
Well, I think there's a lot of topics he'll want to cover. First one of these for me to attend. I covered a Big 12 one when I was in college. Be nice if the SEC sent out a schedule because we don't know what time Greg Sankey's talking on Monday. Anyways, I mean, the playoff, the 9-game schedule, NIL, the opposition to the SEC opposing the
the congressional
act. So I think he has some things to address. And, one thing about him, watching him from afar, he's going to get his point across. He's going to stand up there. He's not like some other commissioners who just dodge it and filibuster. So looking forward to that. Florida doesn't go until Wednesday. So be interested to hear from Jaden Baugh. They're also sending Brown and Graham. And one thing for Summerall is he poked the offensive line after spring football.
Yeah.
Where do you think it's at now through summer conditioning and, being able to look back on those padded practices and what would be plan A? And only 8 of the 16 teams are sending a quarterback, which is so pathetic.
Yeah.
Even if you have like a competition.
Right.
But Auburn is sending a kicker.
Oh, good. Thank God.
Yeah. We know somebody that would be excited
this is what I'll
about
tell you about that kicker. He's probably going to kick a game-winning field goal to beat the Gators on the Plains in week 3, based on our recent history. Let's now do this.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
RJ Saunders sitting in for Rick Ballou tonight. It's great to see you.
It's great to see you guys.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. Nervous just a little bit, but filling in for Rick and Hacker tonight should be a lot of fun.
When are we going to get the LeBron decision?
I was going to ask that.
Yeah, and where do you think he's going to play?
I mean, everybody thinks that the decision, part 2, I guess, is going to come sometime towards next week. If I had to guess right now, I think Cleveland's the play. Although he did do some sort of interview where he said, I want to be in a place where they trust the process, and everyone's like, Philly. Here comes Philadelphia. But I think he wants to go home. I think that's just the thing. James Harden hasn't finalized his contract yet. I think he wants the numbers to be somewhere to where they can give LeBron James something he'll like, and I think ultimately he becomes a Cav.
How does Mitchell, Harden, LeBron match up against the Knicks?
Oh, God.
Or the Sixers.
Or the Sixers, for that matter. Yeah, no, both are going to be 2 amazing teams that they're going to have to deal with. I think LeBron probably looks at Cleveland and says, I have 2 guys that can get 30 whenever I need them to. But, I can be that guy to where if you're up 24, 29 in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Knicks, you're not going to lose it because you have me kind of reining the guys in. So should be interesting. I don't know if he goes to Cleveland that ultimately makes him a finals contender, but stranger things have happened with in LeBron's career.
Great stuff. What's coming up?
Absolutely. So we'll have an old friend of the program, old friend of 1010XL, Gus Lowe, coming in.
Okay.
To talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars. Burning questions for him coming into training camp. We'll also have Lance Zierlein, who's going to kind of take us on a tour of the AFC South, and then Jason Jackson, Sirius XM NBA radio, also the radio play-by-play voice for the Miami Heat. Are there any rumblings of LeBron James coming back to Miami? And outside of the Giannis pickup for the Heat, what other big names that have now decided to go to new places interest him? So we'll have all that.
Jason Jackson is a legend.
Yes.
And does he still wear ascots?
I do not know. I will ask him.
He used to wear.
I will ask him.
They had Ascot Fridays when he was a silent reporter.
Ascot Fridays.
That's hilarious.
I like that.
Great stuff. RJ will be listening. Thank you so much. All right. What's coming up on Jacksonville.com?
Well, column up in today's paper is on 5 second-year guys who may not be starters, but people should watch them during camp. Just real quick. LaQuinn Allen, Wyatt Milam, Caleb Ransaw, BJ Green, Branson Combs. So I think LaQuinn Allen will have a role on third down, but I sort of got into why they should be watched. Tomorrow's notes column have led with the Tom Herman edition at Florida State, have some of that Iron Jaguars material. And then we'll be in Tampa for a couple of days next week. And then I'm going up to New York City for a quick vacation. So won't be here next Friday, but then camp will be here.
That's right. We'll have a wonderful vacation. All right. That's going to do it for us. For Ryan O'Halloran, for Jared Justice, I am Hayes Carline. Thank you for listening to The Lead. RJ Saunders up next on 1010XL 92.5 FM.